All right, jabronis, welcome back to another video of Straight Outta Content. And in today's video, I'm going to go over my viral video of why you should never buy a Kia, Hyundai, or Genesis. So I'm just going to jump right into the video. No promo, no intro video, nothing like that. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video because this video is going viral. So I didn't think it was going to do this. When I put it out the day before Christmas, like a little Christmas gift to you guys, I was like, I haven't done anything on Kias, Hyundais, or Genesis in a very long time, but recently I had seen that the Car Wizard had made a video and he did top 5 of his best cars that he recommends. Of course, Toyota Camry was number 1, followed by the Honda Accord. And then he did his top 5 worst cars never to buy. And the number 1 was Kia, Hyundai, Genesis. And I did 2 videos over here, Straight Outta Content, and another one on Car's Garage. And because I guess my platform is bigger on Straight Outta Content, and I kind of started all of this series of Kia engine settlement 5 years ago, going on 5 years ago, it just took fire. So I've been getting so many comments. I think I have like 29 comments. Let me see. I think I got like 29 comments or something like that. I tried to reply to everybody, but I was like, I guess I got to make another video. So again, I'm just going to go through and just read all the comments. There's a lot of you guys out there who are trying to defend Kia. Somebody was like, yeah, but their electric cars are great. And I could show you guys right now, there's a class action lawsuit with their Kia, Hyundai, Kia EV, see right there. They're recalling a bunch of their cars because of that charging port. And I've done a video on that anyway. There's actually a class action lawsuit. But yeah, so if you think that the EV cars are any different, they're not. Look, here's somebody else, EVs get recalled again over failing. There's a recall out in California. Again, I've done these videos. But I just want to read some of these comments because they're super hilarious. And there's so many Kia, Hyundai, Genesis fanboys out here. And I'm like, this is crazy. But also I want to read to you guys somebody else's big comment. I think it's either here or Carl's Garage, but I do want to read to you guys that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start at number 1. Genesis exemplary is an exemplary car. My 16 3.8 liter has been a model of reliability, luxurious, plush, powerful, utterly silent, loaded with every electronic toy known to man, and they still work. They all still work. This shit is hilarious. Oh my God. So first off, there's no difference between Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia. They're all made by the same company. It's not like I'm trying to think of a different example, but all they're doing is just shining a turd. That's all that Genesis is doing. So they put the 3.8 liter, that same motor is also used in the Kia Stinger or the SUVs. If they do a V6, it's still the same 3.8 liter. The difference is that not only do those 3.8 liter V6s go out, and I got tons of people who've been like, can you help me? I got a V6. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't, because the recall only applies to the 4-cylinders and the 4-cylinder hybrids, and now the EVs. So they know that the same quality control was done on the 3.8 liters, and they still shit the bed. But the difference is you can't get any software like a KSDS software or even a PNSS software, which is for the piston ring recall for the newer motors. So they had the Theta 2 all the way up to like 2019, 2020. And then after that, they had their new engines, but those engines have piston ring recalls. So either way, you have a recall. At least you can start the process to get your engine replaced if anything were to go wrong. In regards to the V6 engines, that doesn't exist. So when your V6 engine goes out, and it will, I don't care how much better oil you put in it, AMS oil, whatever the hell you want to put in it, it's going to go out. You're gonna shit the bed. And again, the value of these cars are not comparable to any other car in its range, right? So even the fully loaded Genesis or whatever does not compare to a fully loaded Lexus, fully loaded Mercedes, fully loaded Toyota, fully loaded Honda, fully loaded Acura. Those cars hold their value. Subarus, those cars hold their value. I can continue to name cars. These cars hold their Audi, certain model Audis like an RS7 or even a S7 or A8. These cars hold their value way longer than these Hyundais, Kias, or these Korean cars. I'll just call them just the Korean cars. hold their value way higher. If you're going to compare it to like a Mitsubishi or like a Chevy or a Ford, that's different, but they don't really make sedans like that. Genesis makes sedans. They still make a lot of sedans, the Optima, the K5, K4, Sonata, the G90, G70, they still make sedans. So if you're going to compare it to other sedans, they don't hold a candle. That's the reason why they can put all that stuff in there, but it's all cheap materials. It's not like that they're using high-end materials. Even in like Beamers, at least they, even though they're shit cars, at least they use high-end materials in a Beamer. Like you're actually paying for something, and especially in Lexus and stuff like that, and Toyota, the #1 car company in the world, which is the reason why Honda, Nissan, and Mitsubishi had to team up just to compete with Toyota, because they're getting just demolished. And Kia stays around because they sell a crap car that looks good, and they trick you with all these crap materials, the same material that's made out of this, they'll throw in a Kia and you guys will be wowed by it and be like, oh man, this is great. This is great, man. I get it for bang for your buck, not realizing that if you were to ever go to trade that in or whatever, you're not going to get any value for it. Those cars hold zero value. So anyway, so I just laughed. Just like, you guys are, really hard-headed. And then somebody else said, depends on the owner. I worked at a Hyundai dealership and I've seen new cars under 15,000 look like crap with one oil change at 11,000 miles. And I said this in my other video, you guys keep changing your oil, at 11,000 miles or even at whatever 1,000 miles. I do mine, depends. Sometimes I can do it at like 5, sometimes I do it at 3, sometimes I do it at like 9,000. It really just depends, but I have a Lexus and I do it myself and I only use high, and I've had the car since 29,000 miles. It's at 120,000 miles right now. I put 100,000 miles on it in like 2.5 years. Drove that thing everywhere. I used pristine oil. I do everything myself, and it's mint. The engine is mint. So, but again, my vehicle is known that RX350 is the most legendary SUV out there. Like midsize SUV, RX350, hands down, legendary engine, legendary vehicle, known for doing 300,000 miles. You can't say that about a Kia. They're just, if you talk to anybody, and again, the Car Wizard, I guess is why a lot of people are commenting on this video, and hopefully, Car Wizard, hopefully you see me one day and we can do a video together, because people are just hard-headed. So anyway, see some Hyundais looking fresh with over 150,000, which over 10-year-old running smooth. I wouldn't buy one used though, LOL. Don't know who had it before. Exactly. And remember, just because you've seen 1 or 2 come into your shop, that doesn't mean that's the majority. Just like the Car Wizard said in his video. Yes, just because you have one that has 150,000 miles on it, you happen to be the lucky one. I had one with 166,000 miles on it. I bought it at 70 and got it all the way up to 166,000. That doesn't mean that I didn't have to change I had to, like, he's leaving out the part that at 150,000 miles on one of these Kia, Hyundais, or Genesis, you're putting a quart of oil in it every week. That's just a fact. I had to put a quart of oil in it every week, change the PCV, change the valve cover gas because that leaked and shot oil everywhere, change the oil pressure switch because that failed, change the AC compressor, change the radiator fan, and I think there was one other piece of thing that I had to change as well. Again, all of that is filmed on Straight Outta Content, Carl's Garage. Go check out those videos. So let's see. Somebody else here does have some sense. Worst cars are 100% Mercedes, Audis, BMW, Volkswagen, hot garbage, expensive, and electronic issues left and right, not reliable at all. Well, BMW was on his list. Mercedes wasn't on his list. Certain Audis, it depends, because those Volkswagen engines, it's the things around them, like especially like, again, I'll go back to the R7, which is a high valued car, holds its value, great engineering. It's certain parts, but as far as like it's the reason why Lamborghini made their truck based off of that platform. They had plenty of platforms of companies that they could have teamed up with. They used that big ass V10 Volkswagen engine in their vehicle. The components, like the rod bearings and stuff like that, it may leak from other components like a turbo or a manifold or something like that. But the actual internals of those engines, outside of BMW, because we all know BMW have rod bearing issues. Outside of BMW, some Mercedes too, so leave those too. But when it comes to Audis, they don't have, and Volkswagen, they don't necessarily have, not all their models have that. In regards to Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, all their models have that. All their, from 2010 to today, all their models, especially out of their 4-cylinder engines, have either a rod bearing issue or a piston ring issue. That is the fact. You can't deny it. That's the reason why there's been 4 class action lawsuits. There's never been a bigger lawsuit issue over vehicles than the Kia engine settlement. It just doesn't exist. Somebody else said something in here too, and I was like, you guys are retarded. So anyway, I like this. If you buy a Hyundai Kia car, it's your fault already. Yes, exactly. If you do buy a Hyundai Kia car, it is your fault, 100%. That's on you. Don't come crying, don't come complaining, don't go to the dealership. These dealerships are packed. Again, why do I know this? Because I deal with them. I hear your comments every single day through emails and stuff like that. Let me see if I got one of these. In fact, I think I do have an email right here, Straight Outta Content. That's right. I wanted to shout out to Cap Trick 2000. He ordered a book and then claimed that he didn't get it and filed a dispute, which is like the dumbest shit, because Square, I have the proof right here. So I sent Square the proof. So they're going to give me their, well, you're not going to get any money. So they're going to contact your bank, dumbass, and they're going to be like, we have the proof. Your client just didn't download it. So to file with your bank that you didn't get a book, that I sent you the link, I have the proof right here. Don't be an idiot, because that's just going to make you look stupid. You can't, and it's $20. So that means that you called your bank and you were like, hey, I didn't get this. This is fraud. And you got a whole new debit card and everything for something that you are just too dumb to look at. So I just wanted to shout out that guy. He's an idiot. Let me go over here to Straight Outta Content though, because I want to show you guys somebody's email. Oh, here we go. I'll bring this over right here. I want to show you guys. Here we go. I'm trying to buy this Kia 26 Optima hybrid. I contacted the owner, spoke. Honestly, he told me the car need fixing. Specifically, the motor needs to be replaced. He told me he replaced the motor and put a 2011 Kia hybrid motor. Basically, after that, the car starts having problems. I just want to know what to do here. Oh my God. What? I guess my question to people is, you guys do realize there's other cars to buy, right? Like, why would you purposely put yourself and your hard-earned money into a situation like that? This is just so confusing. I don't understand the stupidity. Or maybe I just cut out, because that guy's information was on screen. So what I'm going to do is just read his email real quick to you guys. So his name is David. He sent me a picture. I can upload this picture. I can show you guys this. Oh, well, dang it. Maybe I can't. Let me try to download it. Okay, so that guy just sent me this picture right here. He said, I'm reaching out because my Hyundai Sonata failed the compression test and the bearing test. The first dealership I took it to denied me because they said a burnt hole valve cover was the reason the test was failing, so it doesn't fall under the warranty. I don't know what a burnt hole valve cover is. I know what a burnt valve is, which is under your valve cover. Okay, I'm going to pick it up and take it to another dealership because the tech there told me originally to get new spark plugs and that would fix it. You guys want Hyundais and Kias. Okay, so I told them a mechanic looked at it on the side of the road and said the compression test failed. So red flag. My concern right now is I have an appointment to get the KSDS software in 10 days, next available appointment, but I'm unsure if they'll deny me coverage because I'm getting it just now. I wasn't aware of it until I saw your video. Do you have any advice, or could I set up a coaching call for advice on how to beat the negative situation? Along with the recall, I told the new dealership that the bearing test failed and I was experiencing engine troubles. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, below the pick. Okay, so again, I'm reading comments, but again, these are the emails that I get every single day. Every single day, all throughout the day, these are the types of emails that I get. So anybody who gets on here and says that these cars are good, you're just a fucking idiot. That's pretty much it. And these are real life people dealing with these issues. So I'm going to answer you, Mr. David. Hopefully you see this one day. I'm not sure. But in regards to you already having a cracked valve, which is what this looks like, first off, your engine is already blown before you have the KSDS, so you're shit out of luck, period. You have a blown engine before your KSDS. The KSDS is a software that they put on your engine so that when this right here does happen, and it's going to happen to every single one of you, when it does happen, it puts your car into limp mode for you to bring it in, for you to start the process to get your engine replaced. So I don't know who's looking in this and whatever happened, but your pretty much done. There's nothing I can say. I'm not going to take your money. In fact, I stopped doing, you asked for a coaching call. I stopped doing that because there's just too many people. I don't have enough time to just sit here. Yes, I was charging it $50 to talk to me and I can help you, but I just don't have the time. I got way other things going on. I do have the time to film and then you guys can look at this, but to sit down, because each call ended up going over an hour, and I can just keep making videos and you guys can just see the actual proof. In fact, let me do my thumbnail. You guys can just see the actual proof of these videos of all you guys emailing, and yeah, there's nothing that you can do. Your engine blew before you got to KSDS. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'm sorry. Okay, now getting back to these comments here. I'm not gonna do this too much longer. Just traded in my 2018 Sorrento with 53,000 miles on it. The stories that have been coming out the last few years made me wonder, not if I was going to have the problem, made me wonder, not if I was going to have the problem with it. Okay, so basically you're saying like, I've been reading too many stories. I got about 53,000 miles on my car. So it's not about, it's more of a matter when or if this is gonna happen. So, okay. I had the 2.4 inline four. I don't know why you have to say inline, because all four cylinders are inline. They don't make V4s. And I couldn't keep it any longer with what is going on with Hyundai Kia and their lack of quality and accountability. Yes, sir, you are a very smart man. You got rid of that car at 53,000 miles, and this was 5 hours ago. Great thought. Okay, I have a 2020 Kia Stinger. Thing has literally been the most reliable car I've ever owned. Currently, we have a Ford, Jeep, and Buick for other cars. Okay, so your Ford and Jeep are trash. Your Buick, depending on what year, decent. Buick did have a car with a legendary engine. And in fact, the car wizard spoke about that car. I think that the Buick with the certain model 3.6 liter was his third most reliable vehicle. That Ford and Jeep are not. Here we go. Had the recall done on it. And so you had a recall done on it. It can't be the most reliable car if you had a recall done on it. That's an oxymoron. Moron. It doesn't match. You can't do that and have that. I'm the most healthiest person in the world and I'm 700 pounds. You can't, I'm the most, like, it doesn't make any sense. You can't say this thing has literally been the most reliable car I've ever owned and then follow that with, had the recall done on it and I swapped out the stock brake pads for aftermarket. Other than that, the car is reliable. They put a recall on the car because they're telling you that the engine is eventually going to go out. So that as long as you have the recall and the software, the KSD is on it, then they are willing to replace your engine when it goes out. The stupidity. Anyway, so I'm not even gonna read that because that's just stupid. I only buy Toyota Corolla RAV4 2004 Corolla, 2014 Corolla, 2024 RAV4, first car Toyota Corolla, 1978, $500, had it for 20 years. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you're going to. My 2025 Night Edition Palisade, bought on release last year, paid in full, still runs like a dream. Put 26,000 miles on it since last September. I don't do the recommended oil change service intervals. I service based on my own knowledge. Its owner's responsible to do their research on the vehicle and the upkeep it needs. It's with every vehicle, just not Kia, Hyundai, Genesis. Y'all talking out of your asses with data. You dog on these three manufacturers with the reasons in the video, but you know damn well no, that's just not a fact. You're talking about a brand new 2025 car with only 26,000 miles on it. It's still a brand new car. I bought my Lexus with 29,000 miles on it. That's like me buying my Lexus, which I bought a 2016 with 29,000 miles on it, one owner from some lady out in Florida. That's like me boasting about that car. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. These cars are reliable. No, we're doing it from experience. Like that guy that I just showed you, I've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years I've been covering all their cars. All these class action lawsuits exist. We're not just making this up. These class action lawsuits are here for a reason. They exist. Motherfuckers got paid money from Kia, Hyundai, Genesis because they were sued 4 times, 3 for their Theta 2 engines and 1 right now going on for their electric vehicles. They keep getting sued because this keeps happening. This is not made up. Just because you have a piece of shit car that's still under the factory warranty doesn't make it reliable. It's going to happen to your vehicle too. It's just a matter of time. It has nothing to do with the interval, the oil change intervals or nothing. In these class action lawsuits, which they lost and they had to pay out millions of dollars, they found that in these factories, there was debris in the motors, which causes these rod bearings. And in your model, you have a piston ring recall right now on your car. I guarantee you right now. In fact, I will look it up. PNSS recall on Hyundai. The engine valve springs may break while driving. Right here. Hard parts, internal mechanical. Here's another one. Engine and cooling engine hard parts. I can't make the valve springs right there. Like you guys you just say shit. You just type shit and then you get back in your piece of shit car. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, for the people out there who need help, I will continue to help you with these videos. I'm about to wrap this up real quick. I just want to read a couple more of these dumbass comments. Here we go. We got a 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe 3.8 liter with 70,000 miles for 6 years now. And the only issue I had was replacing the battery because it drains, leaves sitting in the garage too long. I haven't had anything. Oh, okay, you're not saying it's 6 years, 70,000 miles. You're barely driving the vehicle. You're not driving it long distances. You're not over 100,000 miles. You're not giving real life situations here. Again, what's happening is these people are they're hitting their 100,000 mile mark and these engines are blowing left and right, but nice try. Okay. The electronics completely different story. Oh, here we go. Their electrics are completely different story. Really good and reliable. I already proved that they're not. There's actually right now current class action lawsuits against them for their EVs. Here we go. Kias and Hyundais are 100% worse cars. I want to first start off by saying Kia and Hyundai have never had a reliable era exactly. Now for the story, my friends at high school, senior year, all bought cars, parents purchased 2010 Nissan Altima brand new. That's crazy, Nissan Altima's trash. Purchased a Honda Civic same year. The other friend purchased a Hyundai. Fast forward 5 years, 2010 Nissan Altima is still perfect. That Altima is gonna have a transmission problem. The engines in Nissan, they make great engines, but all the way up from their Nissan Altima Sentra, their lowest cars all the way up to the Nissan GTR, Nissan has a very bad transmission problem. So here's another story, fully loaded 2001 CVs. Nissan CVs are 100% more reliable than Kia. They're not. Nissan is known for having really trash transmissions because of that CVT. But outside of that, I mean, either way, whatever friend of yours bought the Honda, he's the smart one. Okay, Car Wizard is pretty cool. Picking good and bad vehicles. I try to explain to a few that had good luck. They do not see the mass amounts that come in broke down exactly. I look at vehicles exactly like playing video games in Vegas. Some have better odds of being problem-free and others higher odds. You're going to get a problem vehicle. Even with the best models, there is a risk you could get a bad model. Toyota, even with the latest issues with the Tundra, still gives you better odds of getting a good one, while Hyundai, Kia have a high probability you will not get a good one. I've also looked at Ford and GM as being middle of the road. As of 2024, I will only buy Mazda or Toyota. I don't know why you would buy Mazda. They're known for being shit. I no longer will consider Honda. They really went downhill even more than Toyota. With the Tundra, just my opinion, Kia's like modern TV sets. They're a break and toss them away, dump. I mean, I kind of like his comment. In regards to Honda, just stay away from their turbo engines. If you can get their naturally aspirated, you're right. They have changed because they've had to do all these emissions and stuff like that. I'd still trust a Honda, even a new one, any day over a Hyundai Kia Genesis. One, they're going to hold their value way longer than those cars. And if you look on places like Auto Trader and stuff like that, even like a 2018 Honda, if you look at the miles on these Hondas, they still have over 200,000 miles. Especially if you look older. If you look 2017 all the way back to like 2012, those Hondas, SUVs or cars, doesn't matter, they still have like 200,000 miles on them. You'll see a lot of them with like 200,000 miles. There's actually no active recalls. Some of them do have issues with their turbos, but if you can find one without a turbo, that's the one that I would buy. Because turbos, leading into your Toyota Tundra, turbos are what ruins engines fast, right? If you have a boosted engine, especially turbo, you're going to basically cut the life of that motor in half. That's the reason why the 3.5 liter V6 in Toyota vehicles and Lexus, they run damn near forever. The 3.6 liter in the GM and Buicks, that motor ran forever. Naturally aspirated 5.0 Ford Mustang motor. That thing runs for a very long time. 5.3, 6, I don't know about the Hemis because they have the Hemi tick, but when we talk about the 5.3 and the 6.1 Chevy motor, the older ones, they run. Before they started putting all that start-stop stuff, they run. The 4-cylinder, non-turbo Honda engines, those things run. You might got to change a timing belt every now and then, just keep track of that. Outside of that, those things run. In fact, I was looking at a older Honda Pilot, like 2012. It was like $3,000 at this dealer over in San Antonio, like 200,000 miles on it. But it was a one owner. So when I looked at the history of the Carfax, the guy had the timing belt replaced. So I know that that motor can go another 200, 300,000 miles easy, especially if you're not going to drive it like long distances. You're only driving it maybe like a half an hour a day. That thing's going to go crazy. So, yeah, great comment. And I think that'll be my last one. So again, guys, stay tuned for the next video. I'll keep pumping out these Kia Honda engine videos. Don't buy them, but if you're going to buy them, you're just going to make me have more content to talk about. So stay tuned for the next one.